What's the most unexpected thing that happened to you while having sex? NSFW. I was sitting on the couch and my wife was in the cowgirl position and I feel a tickle on my balls, so I look around to see my cat helping himself to the tasty lube on my testes. So you had a threesome with your cat? Having sex with my boyfriend when he suddenly decided to go rigid on top of me. After a few attempts to keep thrusting my hips, I asked him what the duck he was doing. Planking. I had a seizure and urinated on my girlfriend. Hey, some people pay extra for that. I slapped my balls, open hand, full force, aiming for her ace, but sorrowfully missing. Girl I went out with finally convinced me not to use condom. Decided to pull out rather than come inside. She thought I was going to come inside. As I withdraw to come on her belly, she bucks her hips a little. In missionary position anyway. Clock bounces off her mound mid-orgasm. Hit myself in the face with own semen. She finds this hilarious. After a few years, so do I. The good old chest-to-chest air bubble. First serious girlfriend ended up with a hospital visit and stitches on her vagina. There was blood everywhere. She was on top, and instead of going up and down, she was moving backwards and forwards, harder and faster until suddenly she moved too far. Out popped my clock like a champagne cork, and as it came out at such an angle and speed it tore her vagina. Most awkward hospital visit ever. All that matters is you keep Jesus in your soul. I hope someone reads this. I was dating a Korean girl, and I was her first. I was doing the deed when suddenly out of freaking nowhere she puts both hands on my face and stretches my eyes out to make me look Asian. I had to stop because I was laughing too hard. I don't know why. My college girlfriend was giving me head one morning after my roommate left for class. As I'm about to come, my roommate walks into our room. My girlfriend flew off of me, grabbed the blanket, and pretended to be asleep, leaving me completely uncovered. My roommate and I make direct eye contact as I finished all over myself. I had a bed with wheels on the bottom. The wheels were locked on a hardwood floor. It was a full-size bed in a corner of the room against the wall. Well, my partner and I were going at it like rabbits. She decided she wanted to be bent over with her hands on the wall. With all my blood flowing down to the nether regions, I didn't think anything of it. Sure enough, just a few seconds after ramming from behind, the bed slides out from underneath us, and we ended up in a naked and tangled mess between the bed and the wall. We couldn't stop laughing, and she still wanted to get on the bed and finish. A trooper for sure. Laddie friend on top, going bananas, on the verge of orgasm. Grandmother walks in, looks amazed, walks out, then says, "I didn't know you had a visitor." I jump up and lock the door. Mood killed, but we get back to it. Maybe 20 minutes after the first surprise entrance, Grandma walks in again. Mid-coitus like before. Ducking faulty door lock. Laddie friend was not pleased, and I caught hell. However, Grandmother was late stage Alzheimer's at that point. No new memories formed beyond 5 minutes or so, which is why she walked in the second time. And that's how I sleep at night, knowing that image never got recorded to her brain. On a basketball tour, I end up bringing a girl back to my hotel room and we start messing around. We are about to go at it when asks if I have a condom. I start looking in my jeans at the end of the bed, frantically, not having any luck. As she goes to the end of the bed to look through her purse, a hand slowly emerges from beside the headboard with a Trojan in hand. Evidently a teammate got my hotel room key and thought it would be funny to hide under the bed and scare the freshman on the team. Weird. Needless to say, he was a trooper and remained there for the entirety of the session. Note, she had no idea. We forgot to lock the front door to our apartment. Her friend was coming over to visit. We usually had a policy with friends that if the door was unlocked and we were expecting you to just walk in. We were in the living room, on the couch. Her friend walked in. She stopped cold for a solid 10 seconds. So did we. Just like a freeze frame. Then, to lighten the mood, I'm sure, she half-heartedly offered to join. My girlfriend was mortified and ran to the bedroom to put clothes on. Forgetting that I needed some as well, she locked the bedroom door. So here I was standing kinda half in the open, naked. Her friend said something to the effect of waiting outside till we were ready. Just awkward all around. My mom walked in on this girl and I having drunk sex. It was missionary, so she got a great view of my ace. She stood there in shock for just long enough for me to turn and make eye contact. Not too exciting, but I still remember that look on her face. My girlfriend hopped in on me mid-shower one morning. Things got interesting, and she decided to feign dropping the soap to facilitate. She went to turn around and bend over and she slipped. She grabbed what in her mind was the sturdiest load-bearing structure in the vicinity, my fully erect penis. She fell backward out halfway through the shower curtain and her legs slid around me and caught against the wall behind me. There was a pop like a knuckle cracking, and we stood there, full eye contact. I froze, my arms outstretched to catch her. She looked up at me like some strange bird, struggling to tear a stubborn worm free from the soil. Shower sex, not even once. My ex was a screamer, and every time she came, without exception, my dog would howl in sync with her scream. Didn't matter where in the apartment we were. I can only imagine what the neighbors thought. I was giving my wife oral in a 69 type position and thought I was doing an awesome job because she was making some grunting noises and trying to pull away. I thought I'd be damn man and force her to come, and held my ground so to speak and stayed in there. Well, about 3 seconds later I heard a poot and felt a burning sensation in my nostrils as the 98.6 degree heated methane was forcefully transferred from inside of her to inside of me. We laughed for a few minutes and let the air clear a little, and then went about our business. Threw a pillow off the bed, landed on a candle, caught on fire. I throw it off the candle and proceed to light my curtain/carpet on fire. All of this happened while I was on top, so she didn't even notice. I distinctly remember looking back at my room catching on fire and trying to calculate if I could finish before it got out of control. Finally I gave in and jumped off her. She was like, "What's wrong? Oh, your room's on fire." A burglar smashed a cinder block through the sliding glass door to my bedroom, which opened to the patio. Immediately before sex, I was showing my girlfriend a hunting knife my dad gave me for Christmas. So after he gets through the curtains, I'm standing there, fully nude and still fully erect, brandishing the knife. I didn't move towards him or anything, and he just goes, "I didn't mean no harm. I didn't mean no harm." My BF bought me a very pretty butt plug with a pink jewel at the end. I was wearing it, and we were going at it doggy style. He grabbed my hips and smooshed his hips into my ace really hard. The butt plug popped all the way in, jewel and all disappearing inside. I never thought I'd ever be straining on the loo with my BF holding my hand and looking concernedly into my eyes. So I was having sex with this girl from behind, and my friend, who is also a guy, comes in. He says he needs a lighter, reaches into my pants, which are still around my ankles, and takes mine. He slaps me on the ace, says keep up the good work, and walks out. I never stopped thrusting. While in college, I was going down on a former girlfriend. Things happened quickly, so the lights were still on, etc. About 5 minutes into it, I start hearing faint chanting, but think nothing of it. After about 6 minutes I realize something is up. I peek out my window on the second floor and see the neighbors having a huge party outside with about 40 to 50 people screaming tap that, tap that, tap that. I quickly realized they were not talking about the kegs they were drinking and closed my blinds to a torrent of booze. Edit, I forgot to add, she took it well both literally and figuratively afterwards. So my boyfriend is on top, and we are both getting close to finishing. My bed is a little rickety, so it's shaking, and the headboard is shaking too. He's giving her, I'm moaning and egging him on. The reading lamp, which is on, starts to totter, and just as he's finishing it falls onto my chest, and I know that the bulb gets ridiculously hot. So I go from hot moaning to straight up terror noises and apparently make the most ridiculous face in an attempt to avoid burning my nose. He came anyways. So did I. This will almost certainly get buried, but my ex and I were doing it doggy style. We were going really hard and fast. Suddenly, I pull out too far, exiting the vajay. I thrust forward expecting re-entry. I miss badly. Straight up her butt. She screams. I pull out. She farts. I'm apologizing profusely in between my laughter. She's in the fetal position, crying and clutching her ace hole. It was awful and hilarious at the same time. Okay, I think I got this one. When I was 21, I met this girl at a bar at my cottage. She had a place in town and was entertaining a bunch of friends that night from home. Anyway, we hit it off and I went back to her place. One thing led to another and we were in her bed fooling around. But we had to keep quiet because all her friends, 3 girls and a guy, were sleeping on her floor. So she's giving me a HJ under the covers, and as I'm about to finish I get this sudden excruciating leg cramp. It was so bad I immediately yelled, jumped out of bed, and start hopping up and down while simultaneously skeeting in random directions all over the room and onto all the people sleeping on the floor. One morning before surfing I was having a scrambled egg breakfast. My friend said something funny causing me to snort some eggs into my sinus. The surf was good and sometimes seawater is forcefully pushed into your sinuses as well. Fast forward a few hours. A friend comes over for a fling. While in the throes of passion I lean over on top of her and out of my nose pours about half a cup of seawater as well as a piece of scrambled egg on her chest. I thought it was funny. She was confused and grossed out.